have no idea what financial goals to set in 2026, well, I'm here to give you a few ideas. First goal that most people need to start out with is having an emergency fund or having a cushion fund, whatever you want to call it. This is where we save 3 to 6 months of our living expenses in a high yield savings account or a savings account that is accessible to us. One of my favorite high yield savings account is Capital One. There's also Amex, there's also Ally. These are great online banks that give you a high yield savings, so a high interest for saving your money. Again, this is not invested in the stock market. This is not an ad. These are just tools that I personally love when I'm setting up my savings account. Now, the second goal, if you haven't started already, is paying off some of that credit card debt, okay? It's important that we stay consistent with paying off our debt because the interest is eating us alive. Currently, we see interest rates hitting almost 30%, and it literally is criminal. There's a few ways that you can pay off debt, and look up the snowball method or the avalanche method to start with. And if you still need more support, you can consider a balance transfer credit card where you can transfer over the balance with 0 interest for the first year or 2 years. Every credit card company has their own benefits and promotions. And again, you have to make sure that you qualify and that you don't have too much debt because they're not going to give you a balance transfer card of $10,000 if you have $10,000 in credit card debt. Be mindful of what strategy you need to pay off your debt. Now, the third goal is to invest. I think this is the best way that we can beat inflation. Inflation right now is around 2%, and even your high yield savings account beats inflation. But when we invest in the stock market, we get a higher interest. But what is important to recognize, there are multiple tools and multiple strategies to invest. So the first one that I like to start off with, consider investing into a Roth IRA. Okay, there's a lot more to this. A Roth IRA essentially is a retirement account that you control, that you can strategize, that you can invest in. So this is not employer sponsored. This is not tied to your employer. This is something that you can open up at any point. It takes less than 5 minutes. Investment retirement account comes as a Roth or a traditional, meaning a Roth is you're using after-tax dollars to invest in this account, and when you take the money out, you don't pay taxes on it. Versus when you use a traditional IRA, meaning it's before tax monies will be taxed when you take it out. Favorite companies to open up a Roth IRA are with Betterment and Wealthfront. They're robo-advisors that essentially pick your portfolio for you based on your aligned strategy, whether you want a socially responsible portfolio to invest in or just a general one that kind of invests in everything in the stock market. And the reason why I love it is because they adjust your risk tolerance for you based on your age, which is very important. If you don't know what that is, I highly recommend looking it up so that you can understand investing. And that's a whole other video that I want to make. Another goal to set is opening up another savings account, which we call like sinking funds. These are for essentially travel, buying a home. So if that's one of your goals, setting money aside to reach those goals is very important. Also use it for lawyers. You could also use it for child planning or marriage or planning for your wedding. A sinking fund is really just nice to have a separate account where you put money towards things that are just not for emergencies. So these are some starter goals that you can use to give your money a purpose. And as a wealth-minded woman, it's so important that we set up goals this 2026.